Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter RAW. My guest this segment. Oh no, I don't have a guest. This is the beginning of the new show. Anyways, my name is James West. This is Special Ed the Head, and we have a special guest with us today. His name is Rob Bebenek. And Rob, I hear you're a comedian.
That's the rumor. That's
really?
The rumor.
Make us laugh.
This is a really strange circumstance. I don't normally do like mini boardroom comedy.
You're used to being a stand-up on your own.
Yes.
Writing your own material and that's interesting.
Yeah, if you don't, they kind of give you a hard time if you're doing other people's material up there.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it's kind of plagiarism, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really like it. People don't take kindly to it.
So tell me, what do you find funny about legalization of cannabis for recreational purposes?
I think it's funny that it took so long. I think that's funny. I think it's funny because nothing is going to change in most people's day-to-day routine.
Right. Ed and I were kind of...
It's like politics, right? People always worry about who's coming in, but yet what really changes for anybody?
Nothing really changes in your day-to-day life.
Exactly.
Well, lately it's gotten kind of weird, right?
A little bit, but really, what really changes?
Well, Ed...
Just your perception, right?
Well,
sure.
We had agreed, or you had said we had agreed more or less that legalization had kind of wrecked it.
We did discuss that, yeah, because, I mean, there was something about having, going out and getting some pot, rolling
Gotta hide.
Yeah.
Sneak out the back, Jack.
Hey, you're smoking pot. It's
Like a new
illegal.
Klan stand.
I don't think I know anyone who's trying it tomorrow for the first time.
I wonder, what about someone that's got pain and it's older that was afraid to try? Of course, it's been legal for medical reasons for a while, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so...
And I think slowly it'll get rid of the stigma attached to it. But I genuinely, I don't know a single person who's been sitting there and be like, I'm not touching it until it's okay.
Huh.
Like people were smoking it, they're going to smoke it.
Yeah.
That hasn't been holding anyone back.
That's true.
So we might as well make some money off it, right?
I guess it's good for the tax base.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, just because I have a friend, and he grows a bit for personal use, and he grows a couple plants a year, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And he's a good buddy, so if I say, hey, spot me, a few joints or a quarter ounce or something. So that's the way I could...
Couple pounds, whatever.
No. Enough that, because I don't want it to be around all the time, so I'm always thinking I need to have I like to have it just on occasionally, but not really close by.
You know what it does, and like more than anything, it eliminates people not knowing where it comes from, like people who are smoking it.
Right.
And it also allows you to make money off it. So you weren't winning the fight against it anyways. So it's kind of a can't beat 'em, join 'em kind of thing. Now the government can make some money off it. Nobody's going to some weirdo's house, buying it and sitting on his couch for a while with this awkward conversation where you're like, oh man, I got to get out of here, but I'd really like to get that stuff I came for. I've heard. I don't touch this stuff.
You don't?
No.
You're not a consumer of cannabis?
Don't touch it.
Really?
Did you ever?
Never touched it.
Never tried it?
Straight as an arrow. No.
Really?
You ever have a drink?
I don't drink.
You don't drink?
I'm lying to you guys so bad.
I was going to say.
Are you a liar?
Yeah, I'm a liar. Yeah.
Excellent.
To people I just met, which is
Really weird.
not a great way to get off.
Prevaricator.
Yeah.
Prevaricator of the highest order.
Prevaricator?
Prevaricator.
I've never heard that word
That means
before.
liar.
No, that means somebody who hesitates.
No,
not lies.
prevaricator means a liar.
Control room, can we get a look up on
Can you go to the
prevarication,
answer box
please?
on this one?
We have
Prevaricator.
Regardless, I've learned a word today. I don't know what it means yet, but I can
Septis.
say it.
Well, we're going to find out what it means.
prevaricate. Let's see. Oh, not prevaricate. Prevaricate. Speak or act in an evasive way. I guess that's
Speak right, invasive way, hedge, dodge, issue, equivocate, waffle.
Fence, shilly-shally, dodge.
It sounds like a swanky fire.
Prevaricate definition, to speak falsely or misleadingly, deliberately misstate or create an incorrect impression. Lie.
Hem and haw.
Well, so maybe it's maybe I made it sound black and white, but maybe it's a lot grayer. There's a lot of room for interpretation.
Sounds like you're prevaricating or whatever. Did I say it
No,
right?
Ed's just flat out bullshit.
I've read. You know what? I was studied when I was in high school. I did very poorly in
all subjects.
English tests and vocabulary and everything. So I decided to start reading dictionaries.
That put a chip on your shoulder, and your way to solve that problem was dictionary.
Now I know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
I mean, I've heard it's a pretty riveting read once you get into.
Well-
once you get into the middle, it's that's the meat of the dictionary. Nobody cares about the A's, you know.
So give me a word that you learned out of the dictionary, Ed.
one of the first words that I used was soporific.
Oh.
SOPORIFIC. Not sop.
Soporific.
Yeah, I think it means sleep-inducing.
So you
Like
think
a
it
sleep-inducing,
means- I
like
thought
a
you-
soporific conversation.
So you're going around throwing $5 words into conversations that you're not quite sure how they
I'm
work.
pretty sure what they mean.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's confident enough.
Yeah. Mellifluous conversation.
Now you're-
Anyways,
now
we-
you're
We're-
showing
we're-
off.
this is not why we're here. Let's get back to
Cannabis world. We have a really interesting show here today, and besides Rob, and he's new. He's going to be talking to some peeps on the street, and that'll be in tomorrow's show. Ben Ward is here from the Wayland Group, and if you haven't read the news, Wayland Group was formerly Marican and is now Wayland Group. But Ben's still the CEO, and the symbol has changed to WAYL. You'll be seeing a lot of them because they're now our client, and we only do clients by invitation. Brad Rogers is going to be here from CannTrust at about 3:30, quarter to 4-ish, and then we're going to have Charles Bern here, who's a partner and director of strategy from PATIO Interactive that does virtual reality and augmented reality, kind of like what marijuana does. Augments reality. Anyways, so we saw quite the sell-off in the market today, Ed, and what's your take on it?
Well, yesterday we did say with the huge run up, and the RSI's moving up, and a lot of things trading outside the band, et cetera, we said probably tomorrow or Wednesday there was going to be a sell-off.
Huh. Is that what we said?
Well, I said it.
Oh, you did? Okay. Wait a
I'd
second.
like
You were right
I'm trying to give
yesterday?
you some of the benefit.
I see. Well, at least I was here with you.
Yeah, you were.
well, that was the one
maybe
thing.
you weren't listening, but I was just standing.
Did any of that make any sense to you, what he just said?
Kinda. I kinda understand. I don't know how to buy a stock.
Oh.
Like if you wanted, if I was like,
more importantly, do you know how to sell one?
oh God, well no, that's step 2. I haven't learned step 1.
Well, we should open you an account and we'll sell you some of our stock.
Sure. What are you selling?
Right? Well, we're gonna sell it to you a little higher than we
We're gonna
bought it
sell
for.
the bad
Sure.
ones.
Yeah. Well, that's
We're gonna sell you the riffraff.
I
What do you
have a
think of
debit
this? What do you
card.
think of this?
Jacket.
His sartorial resplendence here.
That is a cannabis stock salesman's jacket.
Jeepers.
That's
That's a beauty.
that does its.
It's not cannabis, though.
No, it's not.
No, there's
it's
no
not,
cannabis.
It's not hemp.
Cannabis?
No, it's not made of hemp either. It's made of cotton batting.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think it's lovely.
No, thank you. No, I was expecting an onslaught of insults and aspersions about my sexual orientation because of this jacket.
Well,
And
I'm
I'm a little disappointed in you guys.
That's not my bag. I think that jacket's fun.
Yeah, you like it? Okay, great.
I see that jacket
Well,
on a
he
guy.
can-
I'm like, that guy likes having a good time.
You can come back anytime you want.
I'll be
That's
a
what we
regular.
need. So I guess we've got some news items that we're going to run through a little bit here. We've got what else we got happening today, Head?
Well, we got more of the same.
More of the same. So right now we're going to have a quick chat with Ben Ward and get updated on Wayland Group, and here's what he had to say. Hey, welcome back. My guest this segment is Ben Ward, CEO of Wayland Group Corp. Ben, welcome back.
Thanks, glad to be here, James.
Yeah, so Ben, you guys just keep knocking it out of the park here. You've got the production facility in Langton amping up, Germany and Switzerland amping up. You're doing an expansion at all facilities in Canada, 942,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's what we'll be when we're fully built out. So we've now have phase 1 near completion, and phase 2, all the foundations are in. Greenhouse is going to start going up, and then we'll build out phase 3.
Wow. Okay, so you're essentially approaching the same footprint as Aurora here, globally it seems. What is your international game plan cohesively?
Our international game plan is to take our initial production from our EU GMP certified facilities here in Canada, and then take that product and penetrate the European market while there's no domestic production in those countries. So we have one of 6 companies with EU GMP certification for cannabis flowers, so we can export that product. We just signed a major agreement this last week, which we announced this morning, for 9,000 kilos over 3 years with Cannamedical Group for export of flowers, the biggest agreement of that type in the space so far.
Sure.
And so that's our near-term strategy, and then we'll be developing domestic content in both Germany and Switzerland, and then we've announced that we'll be moving ahead in Italy as well.
Okay, so that's like, as you said earlier, that's like a $30 million return on a $2 million investment.
Yeah, essentially. That's what we'll be able to do. And then with our CBD operation in Germany as well, we'll be able to gain a very high margin on that.
Do you guys consciously target return on equity like that so that you look at a deal and say, well, if we could get 15 times, return in the course of a year or less, that's a good benchmark to establish for acquisitions going forward. Is that part of the thinking?
I think acquisitions to come down to who are we going to partner with in country, who's the management group we can work with there, what's their track record, and then does the market make opportunity? For instance, is there a payer market for it? So there's many countries who are legalizing cannabis around the world. They could be future production sites of bulk material. But what we look at is where is it rational for us to invest? Where is the partner? And then is there a payer system or the disposable income for people to be able to afford that product? So when we look at Germany, Switzerland, Italy, there's high disposable income, and then there's national health payer services. So the product can be covered for medical, and then when the rec market grows, people have disposable income. So I think it's a mix, and we have to look at if there's a near-term arbitrage opportunity, we'll move ahead very aggressively.
Sure. And you guys just filed a prospectus for this $50 million bought deal financing, and that's being led by Haywood?
It's being led by Canaccord, and Haywood's 30% of the syndicate.
Okay.
And the shoe is filled, and we're oversubscribed.
Is that right? Just like that?
Just like that.
Okay. Good to see things are progressing so well. Now, you guys also have ambitions for other jurisdictions in the world. Is there anything that you can talk about development-wise that way to us right now?
I can't specifically say where we're moving, but we've previously stated that we're looking at all of Western Europe. That's a specific target for us. And then we're looking at different jurisdictions as they come online. So I think that the reason for this capital raise is for future acquisitions, and I think you can expect to see something in the near future.
Well, that's fantastic. You seem to be jumping ahead of a lot of the incumbent LPs in Canada who have distribution deals or the foundations of distribution deals in Europe. And why do you think that is?
I think it's because of our close attention to compliance and quality of product. As I said earlier, there's only 6 of us who have EU GMP status in the world. And then whether you can continuously make your product pass test batch or make the analytical testing approved for the product, it's not guaranteed that it will happen on every batch. We just have rigorous and strict production methods in place, and we continue to hit those targets. So if other groups who have that certification or can't get that certification can't deliver, we're stepping into those contracts.
So is that to suggest that the testing and the stringency of the rules are much tougher in Europe than they are in Canada?
Yeah, EU GMP certification is much more stringent than what's called GPP in Canada, which is what the certification for the ACMPR is. So it's treating the plant truly as medicine, right from clone all the way through to packaging. And our previous experience of some of our team in pharma really helps us to get to that point. And then it's just adopting a way of doing business that we are going to comply and be very strict and stringent with every single one of our SOPs. And it's just a different level of operation. So rather than just producing cannabis, we're producing a true medical product.
Interesting. So then are you in a position where you're going to need to raise money continuously to realize all these ambitions, or is there another capital strategy existing in your capital structure?
Yeah, in the cap structure, there's a lot of warrants that we would like to see exercised, and we think we'll be able to push through the levels to see those forced. And that will supply the company with additional capital that's required, that's already baked into the capital structure. So I don't foresee having to do continual equity raises like this.
Oh, okay, great. So one might conclude, and it's probably a little bit forward-looking to say this, but one might conclude that the rising tide that has lifted all major cannabis boats, but has somewhat bypassed Wayland at this point, may yet come to bear on the company based on all of these developments?
Yeah, I think that we'll see our ship rise once once investors see that it's not just about making press releases or having sensationalistic sound bites, it's about building a business, building a company. And I think as of the Q1 2019 numbers are produced, we'll see who the winners and losers are, and it's not who everyone thinks.
I'm sure. The October 17th legalization of cannabis in Canada, how does that impact Wayland Group's entire profile at this point?
It's huge for us. We have some of the biggest supply orders for Alberta, BC, Manitoba, and we are filling product right now for Ontario as well. So the recreational demand is there. We've been successful in securing large agreements, so that'll be highly accretive for the company. And then our products will be there on the shelves because we are producing, we have scale, and I think you'll see us as a major player in the market.
Do you think you'll have a store in Ontario? I mean, it's a little bit uncertain yet as to who will and who won't.
Well, we'll see what the retail market allows, and we'll see the structure. From a regulatory standpoint, they're saying that they'll allow one store. So we're opening a beta store and a launch for a flagship in Zurich. And I think that's a really interesting test market for us because you have 3 cultures in Switzerland. You have the Italian, German, and French cultures. And we can test and see what works there, what is an educational format that people become interested and understand cannabis, and it can help with our branding. So we'll learn from that experience in Zurich, and then as of April 1st, if the Ontario government allows, we'll see what the store would look like in Ontario.
Okay, so can I ask you what made you want to change the name from Marican to Wayland Group?
Marican is a combination of marijuana cannabis. It defines us as a pot company, and as we progress in further medical markets, having Wayland Group as the overall structure made more sense for us with different sub-brands and businesses underneath. So for instance, we bifurcated our pharmaceutical business and our recreational business into really 2 separate commercial divisions. And Wayland was a mythical German figure who created different magical elements, and so it's works well for us in the German market, Switzerland, Austria market, and then in Canada as well. So a fresh start. Most of the people here at Wayland have been here for under a year, and we wanted to have something to symbolize that.
Okay, so what percentage of your business do you think going forward in 2019, 2020 will be medical versus recreational?
I think in 2019, we're looking at almost a pure recreational business other than German exports. And then in 2020, I see that evening out more as we see more concentration on the medical business in Europe. And I think we move to about a 70-30 business at that point in time.
70 medical, 30 rec?
70 rec, 30 medical.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've got a bunch of brands that you announced on September 17th, White Feather, Hawke's Bay, Nelson's Blue, Flightless Bird. These are all recreational brands?
Yeah, those are rec brands under the Kiwi banner.
Oh, I see. Interesting. I like the references to the birds and getting flying. That's very cute. All right. Well then, let's leave it here for now, Ben. We're going to be speaking to you frequently now that we're working together. Thank you very much for joining me today. We'll come back to you in about a week's time and have another conversation.
Great. Thanks for your time, James.
Hey, welcome back. You'll never guess who just walked in the door. I bet you will. You probably recognize Brad Rogers. He's the Chief Operating Officer and President of CannTrust Holdings Inc. Brad, welcome back on this historic day.
This is historic.
This is history in the
Countdown begins now, doesn't it?
We're making history right here.
Midnight, stroke of midnight. Prohibition is over.
We're going to be high as fuck. No, I mean, I will be. I can speak only for myself here. No implication there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, tonight the countdown is going to be done. Is that my outside voice? Whoops. Anyways, it's not about me. This is about you. And I'm interested to learn how the historic occasion upon which we find ourselves has changed the universe for CannTrust Holdings.
Well, you know what? I don't know what the analog was back when Jack Daniels was coming out of Prohibition, but I don't think he had excise stickers to put on and all the compliance pieces that are in play right now, and so that's been a big challenge for not just CannTrust, but all the producers out there I know. And so it's fun. It's a real thing. You know, I mean, this this is the end of Prohibition 2.0, I guess, if you
Right.
will. And so we're going through the regulatory challenges that are there, but we're also, we've got our logistics in place, and we're shipping every single day. We're doing pallet by the day, making sure that we're satiating the market that we know is there.
Okay. Is CannTrust going to sell clones to home growers who want to grow at home?
Well, that's a good question. And you know what? We've been so darn busy doing what we've been doing, getting product out, that we haven't really even considered it. But that's a market that we definitely will look at.
Sure.
I mean, there's no reason why we wouldn't look at it and support that. It's almost like a home grow, a home brew, if you will.
Right.
But absolutely, there's no question.
Okay. And what products has CannTrust rolled out specifically for the recreational market?
We've got 4 brands, as a matter of fact. The first brand, brand that we're rolling out is rolling out. Now we're fun. We're having lots of fun now. So the first brand we're going out with is Live. Live is an everyday user brand, so it's for the connoisseur that understands what they're looking for. So we have the street names, if you will, on that brand, and so we've got our the Kushes, the Hazes, the Skunks, the Cheeses, etc. So the familiar strains that people will know and love, and that will be going to the store and asking for by street name. And so we've got 7 strains out there in that line. And then the other 3 lines, we've really lowered the bar with respect to a neophyte coming in and really wanting to understand what they're getting and how they're buying it. And so we've made that purchase decision relatively simpler by naming the strains very interestingly against what our positioning of that brand is. And so Synergy is a social brand because of the organoleptic properties of cannabis, the smell and the taste. We've put flavor forward on that line. And so we've got our blueberry kushes, our citrus breeze, our mango tango, and so
Mango tango. That's
right. Yeah, and so we've taken our flavor forward positioning there, similar to wine. You get the oaky taste or the earthy taste or the fruit forward. So we've taken that and put that forward. And so so when you're looking for an experience and you want to try and experience cannabis that way, the smell and the taste is what we've gone forth with that line.
cool.
Or with that brand, that Synergy. And our Escape brand is interesting as well. And so the neophytes going in and saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to a party tonight. What do I want? And so an AK-47 may think, oh, I don't want to get killed at the party. Or something, or green crack might sound a little too harsh for a neophyte. And so we've got a strain called Tailgate Party. We've got a strain called Walk the Dog. We've got a strain.
That one sounds attractive.
Absolutely,
to me
it is.
I'm gonna get high and walk the dog, honey. I'll be right back.
Exactly. That's what people do.
Yeah,
and so you put it into everyday life. And so we've one of the best strains that we actually trademarked is Flicks and Chill. And so what are you doing tonight? Well, Flicks and Chill. So that's going to enhance my experience, and that's what I'm doing it with and for. And so we've put the application into the strain, the decision really easy and really sticky, and we think we've got a winning combination between all of those brands. And the last brand is Peak Leaf, and that's a BC regional brand, as a matter of fact. And so that's only available in BC, and that's a collaboration with the BC government and CannTrust. So we're looking forward to that release as well as the other ones. And that's exciting. I mean, this is great. This a brand coming out for the first time in a beautiful white space.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm very excited about that. The interesting thing about these cannabis brands, Brad, is that the the average user. Do you think? Let me ask you this. I'm stuttering here. Do you think that anybody is going to be trying cannabis for the first?
Oh, I think so. I think there's going to be a curiosity spike second to none here. I mean, this is now legal, and so the people who had that stigma in their head of saying, "Hey, it's illegal, and I'm breaking the law by trying cannabis." I think that's going to go away, and so you're going to see some people that are curious to cannabis and understand that now it's legal, and hey, why not? I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen. We're going to see more participation in that.
Yeah.
If not not just for the rec user, but maybe the rec med/med user. And so people that heard it's good for sleep, but never wanted to try it for any of the kind of that sort of health benefit side of it as well. That can patronize the store, not necessarily want to get a license right away or a med doc right away from their doctor. They just want to try it. And so there's going to be some capsules and oils available in store as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. How soon do you think until the government, I mean, they've talked about licensing edibles and extracts and vape cartridges soon enough. How soon do you think until those things are actually in the marketplace?
That's going to be probably, well, they said between October 17th, 2018 and October 17th, 2019. And so within the year, and we're ready.
Yeah.
We've got a whole portfolio of products that are ready to go. And so we've got nanotechnology, which is the microencapsulation of cannabinoids on both the psychoactive and non-psychoactive side. We've got a zero taste, 0 calorie ingredient to put in any liquid.
Is it shelf stabilized?
Oh, it's beautiful. It stays in solution. It doesn't settle. It doesn't float. It stays in solution, very similar to alcohol.
So it's dissolved cannabinoids.
It is dissolved cannabinoids in solution. So, you can build any beverage around that.
Right.
Any beverage, any profile, because it's got a 0 taste, 0 calorie profile to it. And so whatever you want to make is up to you. And you can have a glass of water and not know you're drinking THC or CBD.
Wow.
And so that's a phenomenal taste.
You can now slip a Mickey to somebody.
Sure, you can slip a water to somebody, and here you
It's
are.
like air.
Slip anything you don't want anybody.
That's a bit dangerous.
Well, it is, but as long as we're clearly marked and we're responsible with it on the psychoactive side of it, on the CBD side of it, you look at the verticals you can go in with this technology, and you go, okay, so what does a Gatorade 2.0 look like? Well, Gatorade's got the front end of the sports world. They've got the pre and the during. I think we can create a beautiful post-recovery, sport recovery workout beverage.
Oh, so something that just goes to your joints and eases the pain, the inflammation?
Inflammation, the pain, the spasticity.
Got any of that with you?
Absolutely.
I'll try it right now.
Absolutely.
Now, the CBDs are not exactly legal at this point in Canada, are they?
CBD, no. Well, I mean, on the rec side it will be, but not on the beverage side.
Really? So you can buy a CBD dominant strain and smoke it, but you can't buy a CBD topical cream and use it.
Topicals you can if you have medication. Yeah, I don't think those products
on
will
the
be
medical
widely
side.
available on in provincial distribution channels. But on the medical side, we've got a topical. There's a couple of other LPs out there with topicals. We're just getting through our regulatory with our topicals, so it should be available soon.
Right.
And so we're looking forward to the rest of the product lines that we have ready and just waiting for regulation to come to fruition here.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, we've got the vape pens, we've got topicals, we've got the patches, we've got, I mean, it's endless what we've got and what we're able to actually create with the technology and the innovation that we have at CannTrust.
Sure. You announced on the 3rd of October that you're celebrating serving your 50,000th patient.
It is, yeah.
And so that, so you're supplying cannabis to Aleafia. I mean, it sounds like your balance sheet and your financials are going to be rather impressive next time we look at those.
Yes, look, I mean, our heads are down. We're growing the business literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity like no other, and so we're fortifying the operation with a lot of key people and functions in the organization. Again, we've got our PhD of nanotechnology. A lot of these verticals now that are important to the business are headed up by PhDs, and that's the level of acumen that we'd like to see in our environment, and that's how we operate our business. And onward, upward with everything else that's coming online with respect to food, pharma, the pet business, like we talked about before. There's a lot of verticals that are yet to be discovered that are all white space. That CannTrust has a lot of IP that can be plugged directly into those verticals, and so it's an incredibly exciting time for us.
Wow, fantastic! And you're building out an additional 600,000 square feet.
Yes, there's a 600,000 square foot addition going on to the property, the licensed facility there in Niagara. So, you know, again, that's proof of concept, and that's where we're going to actually proof of concept our seed technology. So similar to a Bayer Crop Science or / Monsanto, we're actually manufacturing seeds. And so we're proof of concepting that, and when we actually perfect that, which we're very close, and so single flower, auto flower, daylight neutral, standardized product that you're going to get out of those seeds. And so when you look at our opportunity to approach Canadian farmers and say, look, would you consider turning your crop over to cannabis because the economic opportunity is for them to turn their $1,000 a hectare that they're getting on their cash crop currently to somewhere between 5,000 plus.
Right.
And so, you know, it's very, very compelling for them to be able to turn their crop over into cannabis production.
Yeah, no
for
doubt.
the likes of us.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
So we're pretty excited about that as well. So, you know, I mean, there's so many opportunities right now in this space. It's endless right now. And so our opportunity is to say, okay, so where do we go next with this thing?
Right.
And, you know, we've got our international business going. We're going around the world with that. The UK just said, hey, we're going to be legal medical as of November 1st. So, you know, we've got people knocking on our door from the UK saying, hey, would you partner with us? And so
Really?
we've got that. We've got our Denmark deal going. We've got Australia going. We've got Germany coming online. We've got Mexico in talks with. We've got so many good things that
Latin
are going
America?
on. I'm sorry?
Latin America?
LATAM is coming on board as well. So we're in talks
Wow.
with Brazil, and so you know, look, we're going to be you know, moving this thing forward fast, and it's just now you know, grasping the world by with both hands and going. So
No doubt.
that's the exciting part.
Yeah, you bet. All right, Brad, we're going to leave it there. We'll come back to you again soon. Thanks so much for your participation
Thank you
on
for
this
having me.
historic day.
Here we go.
All right, when we come back, actually, you know what? We're going to now take a look at a conversation I had earlier with a technology that I actually discovered at the CannTrust brand launch event back in September, I think it was. Anyways, this is a technology that embraces virtual reality and augmented reality. And I spoke to Charles, and here he is with that interview. Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live on this legalization eve, as we're calling it, apparently, thanks to Charles here. Charles Bern is partner and director of strategy at PATIO Interactive, and he's my guest this segment. Charles, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Quickly, Charles, what does PATIO Interactive do?
So we're a design and development company. We specialize in bridging the gap between business challenges and immersive and new technology. So when I say that, I mean XR, which is virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and we use those tools to help business challenges.
Okay, and you brought a example of what is this, a 3D?
So this is an Oculus Go. So this is produced by Oculus Rift, which is owned by Facebook. Facebook paid $3 billion for this company. And this is one of the consumer-grade models of virtual reality. So adoption is really a challenge. The experiences that you can have and the use cases are there are many of them, and this is one of the latest examples of a cheap but also very user-friendly and effective tool for virtual reality.
Sure, so I had a hard time figuring out what virtual reality might be good for, except for gaming. And I found out when we met it was an event for Biome.
It was for CannTrust. It was the
right.
rec launch of their brand.
Sorry, that's right.
Yes.
So you guys were using that to demonstrate the brands.
Yeah.
CannTrust.
And the process. So when we first started working with them, the goal was, because of the regulations, they wanted a way to show their process, show their facilities in a way to educate and inform consumers and also investors, and later it was used for training. So the idea is you don't necessarily have to go and see their facility in Niagara, which is amazing, but it's also on lockdown because it's a very controlled environment. Not everybody can take a tour there, nor can everybody get to Niagara if you're a potential investor or you're trying to learn about the industry. So they have great processes, they have great people, and the virtual reality is really the best way that you can communicate their brand as well as everything about them without actually going there. So you put the headset on and it's like you're there.
Interesting. So how do you monetize this company? Like, how does it make money?
So we're building a platform on the back end. A lot of what we do is partially turnkey and partially custom to our clients' needs. Because of adoption rates, it's always, we take a very consultative approach with our clients. We're building the scalable technology behind virtual and augmented reality. And augmented reality is where you have the real world and then through computer vision, it overlays images on top of it. So that's also very useful, especially in the B2B space.
Right.
So we're building the turnkey software behind in the back end, and then the front end is specific to our clients' needs. And so it's partially scalable and partially exactly what is based on our consultation with our clients, how that they can really utilize this, because it's a new technology. People don't necessarily know how it works. And like you said, outside of gaming, how do you know how this can actually make a difference? But it can make a big difference.
Sure. So then your model is basically virtual reality as a service?
Yeah, I think our model is the core technology behind it, the platforms that we're building, the ease of use for our customers. We've been lucky enough to work with some great companies where we have been able to build off the service model to create the technology behind it, and really help create platforms and products behind the scenes. Basically, everything below the iceberg is scalable, and then everything above the iceberg is what the clients need to help their business.
I see. So what other uses are there for virtual augmented realities?
So in the virtual side, there's a lot of different use cases. You name an industry, I can find companies and people who are winning with this technology. Adoption is the challenge, but on the B2B side, you don't need mass adoption. You don't need to create the next Pokemon Go. What you need to do is find business challenges and adopt it. So and use the technology. So in the cannabis industry, for example, CannTrust has now been using this for hiring, for training. So they can't hire fast enough, and they're hiring people who are straight out of university. They're growing. A lot of cannabis companies are growing really fast, and they have a smart but semi-unskilled green labor force. And this is a great way for them. It's immersive learning. So they can, on the first day they step into the facility, they know where everything is. And there's contextual learning that goes on, and it's far more powerful. It's been proven to be far more powerful than 2D videos or reading through a manual.
Right.
On the AR side, there's plenty of applications too. So imagine looking at an engineering, a box where you have to fix something, and you have AR glasses, and it can recognize it, and then it brings up overlays. It says, this is the button to do this, this is the button to do this. And the efficiencies that you can see on numerous use cases are really powerful stuff. So the cannabis industry has been great for embracing this.
Sure. Interesting. So will you take this company public at some point? Is that the plan?
We're in talks. We're looking through the private route for now, and we're looking for strategic partners. And it's been the cannabis industry and a lot of the public companies that you deal with have been very interested in embracing this. So we're looking, and we're lucky enough to work with some really great partners in the industry.
Sure. So what about the competitive landscape? How many other companies offer this service or offer this function?
So we tried to zig when other companies are zagging. Obviously, gaming and real estate and some other low-hanging fruit are the very obvious use cases for the technology. We take a more business strategic approach, and we look at smaller, more blue ocean kind of scenarios where we can come in and apply what we know, because I think that there's very obvious ways to use the technology, and then, but eventually we'll figure out, just from working with our clients and understanding their companies, the smaller applications. So there are other companies doing some really interesting stuff. Occupied VR did Weed VR, and that was, and they were later purchased by Biome.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of interest in this space. We're relying on our innovative ideas and really bridging that gap between our understanding of our immersive toolbox and all, there's no end to business challenges out there that we can help solve.
Sure. So is that a potential exit for you guys, is to be bought by a cannabis company?
I mean, we're open to we're chatting about it for sure. We've had a great opportunity to work with them, so we're building those relationships. If at some point they want to put a ring on it, we're open to the idea. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, great. So is this something that I can buy and try?
Yeah. So it's $300. It's not on right now.
Right. This is virtual darkness.
Yeah, virtual darkness. But so that's the thing. Now the price point on these machines is coming down. So these ones are about $300, and the next version you'll have 6 degrees of freedom, and it'll be about the same price point. So when you think about that, you think about companies who are facing digital transformation strategies and they're trying to adopt the technology. One of the things is cost. Its predecessor was about $800. Its predecessor before that, you had to connect to a computer. The next version is going to be even smaller. It's going to be lighter. It's going to have more capabilities, and it's cheap enough to enable your workforce with that. And a lot of these companies are doing that.
Sure. I guess this isn't something you want to put on and go walking down the street.
Nope, not yet. And people will probably make fun of you for that.
Right.
But that's the interesting thing. On the business side, there's less of a style. It's more, can we get the job done? Can we find efficiencies in this? Google Glasses is lauded as technology that came and then failed. But really, it's good technology. You just wouldn't wear it to the bar because people would make fun of you.
So you think that we'll see that coming back?
It's already here.
It is.
Yeah,
it?
A lot of industries are already using it. They're using similar technology to Google Glasses, and they're using it on the B2B side. Because if you're an engineer or you're a grow tech and you have the glasses and it's really helping enable your job, then that's a great use case.
Okay, great. Well, we'll keep our eyes on the company. It's a great introduction. Thanks for joining me today.
Appreciate you having me.
Just for this occasion, we're going to get high as fuck. I know that's very unprofessional and very, I don't know, what would you call it? Controversial? No. Just improper? An inappropriate comment for tonight? Are you going to be high as fuck tonight?
No.
No, you're not.
No.
Okay, well, so there you go. Edward's already frowning on this.
No, I'm, who knows? Things very rarely work out the way you intend them to work out, so who knows what's going to happen tonight.
Did you know that Aurora Cannabis today, Ed, became the first to launch a vape-ready high-potency oil cartridge?
I thought, okay, so this is a legal product?
What do you think? Aurora's going to make an illegal product?
Right. Edibles are not legal yet.
Apples?
Edibles.
Edibles. No, edibles are not quite legal yet. Edibles.
Microphone is a little iffy, so
Oh, my microphone is low, says the control room.
transmitter.
Low.
Transmitter.
There's like,
Oh,
yeah,
what?
there you go. Yeah, it was too tight. There you go.
Oh, what?
Too tight.
I don't know what he's talking about, but he sure is making me nervous. Anyways, so that's one interesting thing. Aurora received the necessary compliance verification from Health Canada to release their vape-ready CBD oil product line for sale today. Isn't that amazing?
Are they going to be giving out that product at parties tonight?
Well, it's potentially under the brand Aurora Cloud. The first products released contain over 550 milligrams of CBD and less than 30 milligrams of THC, making them the only vape-ready CBD products legally available in Canada. Wow. This is the first of a broader line of full-spectrum cannabinoid-based vape-ready cartridge products.
When do you find time to memorize all this stuff?
Memorize?
Yeah.
I don't have to memorize it.
Why not?
Well, because look. And also in the news, and look behind you there. Charlotte's Web Holdings Inc.
You can look down and look up and look down, but you're reading the same thing.
Hey!
I get it.
Here you thought that you're
I
watching
get
people
it.
and
I get
talking
it.
heads and you think they're memorizing all that shite? CannTrust down $1.34 and we just had Brad on. That's not good.
No.
A lot of profit taking in the market today. Look at Canex down 6 cents today after announcing that they had declined to complete their takeover of Jetty Vapes, which is a bit of a surprise for everybody, I'm sure. Now, that would seem to indicate that Canex has got other fish to fry. though we don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. We're going to have Anthony Dutton in the studio in due course to tell us what he's going to do instead of Jetty Vapes. Meanwhile, the stock is selling off a bit. Emerald Health is down to $4.78. Can't seem to maintain that level above $5.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, Ed? Is it because they haven't hired us to be their PR
Yeah.
and media
I think that's
production
exactly
people?
what it is. Because you keep selling it as soon as it gets to 5. You keep.
Well, that's the idea. Soon as well,
It's quite the blazer. Has anybody commented on that blazer yet?
I have been getting comments all day. Everybody thinks that it's a hemp
Yeah,
blazer.
I'm surprised you've waited till today to pull that baby out of the.
Well, you know, it's been sitting in my closet just waiting. I got this in Los Angeles. Isn't it cool? It's got monkeys on it, turtles.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. I thought today was appropriate. It's kind of psychedelic.
It sure is.
Kind of like the effects of shatter if you do too much. Little trails. vapor
Yeah.
trails.
So what time do you think? Are you going to stay up the whole night tonight? You think? And
I'm going to stay up late.
Yeah. Early.
Generally, I can't stay up that late without, some kind of chemical-induced.
stupor.
Exactly. And tonight's going to be the opposite. It's going to be all organic, and that's going to have a, I don't know. I hope that there's
Yeah.
some good strains out there. Anyways, also in the news today, at the end of 2017, Charlotte's Web, of which I am a shareholder by way of disclosure, they announced that they had their products sold in 2,000 locations. Now it's 2018, and the company disclosed today that it surpassed its year-end goal of 3,000 stores carrying their product in the United States before the end of 2018.
And this is a medical. This is a medical product.
This is a medical
Yeah,
product.
this is about that heartwarming story about how the product helped this little girl, right?
Well, actually, if you're referring to Charlotte Figge, this is the Stanley Brothers company that resulted from their formulation of a CBD extract to help Charlotte Figge experience a normalized life by eliminating the over 200 epileptic fits she was suffering from on a daily basis. So this was actually arguably one of the main catalysts of cannabis legalization is this story. And Charlotte's Web is the CBD product.
What's Charlotte's Web doing anyway? I hear it's at an all-time high today.
Is that right? Well, that's good news for me as a shareholder. Let's see, is it going to go by
Yeah.
there? It's not going to go by for a while. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the...
I guess I could.
Cannabis.
Why don't I do the same thing?
well, let's get on it there, Edward.
And that's on the CNX, right?
The CSE, yes.
Or is it CSE you put up?
Well, it's CNX is the...
Okay, that's what I want to know. Jesus.
Boy, look at this. It's a red day. It's a red day. We're going to put up our NDI so
Look
that
at
everybody else can see.
Namaste down 36 after a nice move.
What the hell, my NDI? It's not working here. What's going on? I can't get to my... Oh, look at that. What is going on here?
What's going on?
Oh, we're having some
Technical.
difficulties.
Okay.
Now can we get to our NDI? Oh, yes, there we go, but nothing has showed up on my desktop. This is very strange. I've got to reboot my computer here. Anyways,
You know, yet you're rebooting my suitcase last night, so I guess you know how to read.
that was fun, eh?
Yeah, just kicking away there.
I know, that was so much
and
fun.
why don't you kick your computer a few times, see what happens?
It won't work.
Rebooting.
Rebooting. Ah! Nothing slow about me. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who else was had here today, Edward?
Who? Do I sound like an owl?
Who? We already gone through all of our throws, haven't we? Look at that. 4 East Media produced a really interesting piece called Concerns About Safety for Recreational Cannabis for Midas Letter Live, and here's that segment.
With cannabis about to be legalized, I found myself wondering if consumers had any concerns regarding the safety of the products that are about to hit the market.
Has it ever crossed your mind what is actually in the product and if it's been properly tested?
Actually, no.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not concerned about it at all.
I don't have any concerns with marijuana because I smoke it and it grows in the ground, so how harmful could it be, you know?
While consumers don't seem too concerned, Health Canada wants to weed out any cannabis that might be harmful, and producers must abide by a long list of regulations which includes regular testing for product quality.
There are 7 major tests that are involved with the quality control. There's potency, so measuring THC, CBD, and some of the other minor cannabinoids, moisture content, heavy metals, pesticides, bacteria, yeast, and mold. If the cannabis doesn't meet these quality standards, then the LPs can't sell it to the general public.
Not only that, suppliers who aren't in compliance may have their products seized or destroyed and their license suspended or even revoked. For Midas Letter Live, I'm Adamo Barbieri.
What do you think about that, Edward?
Well, it looks like, there's lots of interest in this on this historic day. That's what it looks like. What do you think of that?
That's not bad. You're thinking on your toes here today.
I'm thinking on my ass.
Anyways, let's take a look at what the cannabis indexes are doing today. It's uniformly a day of red. Look at that. Everything's down. How's that for a bit?
Not like yesterday, though. Not as much as...
Yesterday was up.
Yeah, yesterday, like 10... There were some 11s, 10s, and 9s in terms of percentages. Today, it's roughly half that to the downside.
Yeah.
3, 4s, and 5s.
But everything's down. Everything's down. Let's see on the big board. Who is down on the big board? So these are all the companies that trade above $500 million market cap in Canada. We have Canopy Growth down 6.8%. That's after a day where it rose. Look at that. Still at $68 though. Still flirting with all-time highs. Aurora had a crazy trading morning. It was down, up, down, down, and up.
Did it open down?
It opened down 7%, and then it flew up. Hold on, let me just.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Look at
this intraday action on Aurora here. This is today. So it opened up in a steep drop. Oops, what's going on here? We're way down there.
Yeah.
Look at that. So it dropped from $16 to $14. Came back up to almost 15 and then kept on going, and now it's drifting along sideways, $13.99.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I got to tell you, here we are, it's now legal, and today, hopefully this trend changes tomorrow.
Changes?
Yeah, this downtrend.
Oh, you think this? I think this is just profit taking from yesterday.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Let's see who's up and who's down on the other side of things here. Oh, blood in the streets. That's
Jesus. What kind of show is this?
That's kind of gruesome. What's going on?
It must be to do with because Halloween's coming.
I suppose.
I can never understand the thing about Halloween there.
CannTrust lost 8.4% today, down to 1362. Hexo lost 8%, down to 820. But these stocks are all still up in the range that they were yesterday. So I think it is a little automated profit taking. So what do you think about this rumor now? Vic Neufeld and Altria Group.
What's the rumor?
That the company that owns Marlboro is going to take a run or make an investment in Aphria. This is a story that's being put forth by the Globe and Mail after some amateur sleuthing on the part of somebody who actually followed the people from this jet. They landed in a Challenger 350.
Where did they land?
At the airport in Windsor.
Really?
Yeah.
And then they drove to Leamington.
They drove to Leamington
I
in
had
two black SUVs. This guy followed them all the way there. That's how he puts two and two together. He does a search on the tail number of the plane, and the aviation company where it resides happens to be in the same town as this Altria company that is the owner of
Marlboro.
Yeah. So I assume that the assumption, is that even correct? I assume that the assumption is that because this is from, I don't know, and I got the impression that Vic was happy to let us continue to believe that, or at least to participate in the suspicion that it might be true. But anyways, Let's see on the small cap index now. Go to the index page.
Survey says
biggest loser of the day on the small cap index is Namaste, down 38 cents to
it's been on a run.
Well, this is huge volatility to be up, down 13%, up, they were up, 25% yesterday at one point. FSD Pharma, the huge one, is down off 7 cents, down 10%. New Strike Brands off 5 cents or 6.4%. Let's see, who are the big gainers today? No real big gainers. In fact, Bioscient RX up 2.1%.
There you go.
They're not actually a cannabis company though, so I don't know why they're on this index. Liberty Health Sciences bucking the trend, up 1.37% to $1.48, up 2 cents. And then Cannabix, Now this makes sense. This is the company that actually makes the, or that is selling the Draeger breathalyzer unit for detection of cannabis inebriation to the police. Which is interesting because I happen to know that John Conroy, who's the lawyer that's leading most of the constitutional challenges surrounding Bills C-45 and 46, he is positively champing at the bit for one of these people to get arrested because he says there's no way this thing's going to fly. It doesn't work in various temperatures. It has to be completely level. It doesn't work if it's on an angle. So,
What doesn't work?
The breathalyzer, the Draeger machine. That's what the rumor is, anyways.
What about the company, somebody mentioned to me a company.
Fluorotech.
Yeah.
Well, Fluorotech is actually, we're going to be resellers of their units here at Midas Letter.
You like that deal?
Yeah. No, well, the Midas Letter, we're going to have our own Fluorotech unit here, and we're going to
Somebody asked me to ask you about that to see what your reaction would be, and he predicted what your reaction was.
Well, that's because I've talked about it on the show before.
Really?
Yes, in fact, Rex Carey has been on the show. He's the chief operating officer, and that's the guy who I basically made the deal with to become a reseller on the show here.
Really?
Really?
So
really?
you can start testing product.
We're going to start testing product. Well, it was going to be tomorrow, but they're waiting for CSA certification until they can actually put the units into public places for use. And then as soon as that's done, they're going to bring a unit here. They're going to show us how to use it. They're going to leave us with a bunch of the consumables, and we'll be good to go. This is going to be Midas Letter Cannabis Testing Station. And guess what, Ed? We're going to be rolling out our very own Midas Letter High line of cannabis products.
Including
Midas Letter Gold.
T-shirts.
Including Midas Letter Catatonic. These are, how are we doing this? Are we becoming an LP? Is that what you're wondering there, dear audience? No, we're not becoming an LP. We're partnering with LPs, and we're commissioning proprietary strains that you're going to be able to buy through your favorite cannabis store.
Now this sell-off seems to be accelerating into the close. I wonder what will happen tomorrow morning. Everybody will be sleeping, that's for sure.
Well, I think
we won't be.
I won't be. I'm going to be here bright and early because tomorrow we're broadcasting all day live from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow. Right. Are you up for that?
Yes.
Are you going to be able to handle that? Actually, we're not doing it all day. We have our friends from Follow the Money Group, Carl Boyd and Brandon Colwell. We'll be carrying 2 hours of the day. We've got a lot of pre-recorded interviews to talk about. And, I just found the page that says James's throw that I was supposed to use to throw to that last thing, but I didn't see it.
If viewers want to Skype in, we'll be answering their calls at 3.
Today? Oh, that's right. And viewers, you dear viewers, if you would like to participate in the show tomorrow, you Skype into our Midas Letter Studio Skype line, which is Midas Letter. It was really hard, on Skype, and we'll take your questions and maybe even put you on the show. Also, we're hoping that all of you people who live in the provinces where there are physical store locations, I think that's BC, Alberta, and all of the maritime provinces, we want you to take your cell phone and go to stores and give us a little tour with your cell phone on Skype by calling into our Skype line. And if we connect with you, we'll use your stuff on our show right here. You'll be live. It'll be like holy interaction. It's just crazy enough to work.
Holy interaction, Batman.
I know, it's so thrilling. Anyways, so
wow.
you think that the sell-off is going to abate a little bit tomorrow, Ed? Is that what you're
I think
saying?
what we're going to have is we're going to have a little bit of a rally.
Yes.
And then I think we're going to have a further deterioration.
Really?
That's what I think.
It sounds pretty pessimistic.
It's you know what? It's an objective conclusion based on years of looking at technical analysis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting for you.
Yeah, really exciting. Keeps me up at night.
Yeah, I'm sure.
More ways than one.
So you don't think that my prediction about canopy growth at $100 before the end of the year is...
you know what? That may not have anything to do with that. Like that could still happen.
Really?
But I think we need to shake out some of the weak sisters here. We've had a good run. You know, it wasn't that long ago we saw Aurora at 5 and change, and it hit, I think, 15 and change.
Are you bragging or complaining?
Neither. Neither do I too.
Yeah, well, you know, it's an amazing market. I mean,
yeah,
it's astounding. I mean, how many new Canadian millionaires do you think there are thanks to the cannabis market?
Yeah.
If you're a Canadian millionaire as a result of the cannabis market, and directly so, call into our show. We'd love to talk to you.
Millions are such a small number anymore. Maybe we should.
Been Around the Six is recommending that we use Google Duo for video calling. Google Duo. Did you hear that, control room? Check that out. Let's see how that works. But the problem is we have a Skype unit appliance called TalkShow that actually allows us to talk on Skype in 4 channels and in 4 languages while wearing 4 different top hats. 4 is the number. 420. Anyways, let us know if you'd be interested in our Midas Letter line of cannabis products, because we're going to be testing all of the strains offered by all the LPs in Canada. We'll be selecting the very best ones, and they will become the Midas Letter strain of cannabis products.
MedMen leading the pack here. It's one of the only ones I've seen that's up today.
Well, MedMen is in the United States of America. That's why they're up. Everybody's celebrating in the U.S. I think this market sell-off is like basically, look, it's the bell. The market's closed. No, closes at 8, 9, 10. What's going on with that? Like that stock market. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Anyways, MPX, 91 cents.
Yeah. MWM, 57 cents down 3. Really hasn't done much, has it?
No. Also, other news, Ed. Do you know who? Guess who finally got their license? Canaccord Corporation. Canaccord Corporation is a private company in which I am a shareholder down in Niagara that has a 122,000 square foot former GMP pharma plant in the free trade zone of Fort Erie, plus an option to buy a 3.8 million square foot greenhouse in Leamington, Ontario. The idea is that they're going to grow low-cost feedstock using the natural seasonal cycle for ingredients for the GMP pharma plant and make white label cannabis products.
Really?
For pharmacies that want to have their own. So this is still private, people. So anybody who is qualified to, this is not an advertisement. Would this qualify as an advertisement for financing? No, we're not raising money. Let's just say that if you want to learn more about this company and you're an accredited investor, you can give me an email at midasletter@midasletter.com.
Under the category of pay to play.
Under the category pay to play. Whoa! But anyways, we're going to maybe start our own Midas Letter LP.
Let's start there.
Do you want to start growing weed, Ed?
No.
Who out there in the audience wants us to start growing weed? Put up your mouse. Anyways.
Put up your mouse.
Yeah. So
where's my mouse? My mouse is over here.
So this is a private that's coming to trade. You know how many more IPOs
there are?
You
think there's any magnetism going on here?
Magnetic, like your personality. Are you sure you're not smoking product already, Ed?
No. I think I'm gonna. Yeah.
Anyways, what other news can we tell you about? The Green Organic Dutchman received its medical sales license from Health Canada. That happened today. T-God, let's see how that affected their share price right now. We have 200 viewers, over 200 people watching.
I'm gonna make a prediction here that T-God's trading at $5.50.
James Doyle says, "Grow weed" with an exclamation point. Jimmy Doyle, don't forget that you're supposed to bring Doug Ford to the set here tomorrow. Doug Ford, we're gonna have a chat with Dougie about privatizing cannabis sales in Ontario.
Privatizing Queen's Park.
Privatizing Queen's Park. Yeah. Why stop there? Why cut it from 48 to 25 councillors? Yeah. How about just 2 councillors? How about you and I are the councillors?
How about no councillors?
Well, come on, Ed.
Okay, you and I.
You and me. We'll be the councillors of Toronto.
Yeah.
I wonder what Doug Ford would have to say about that. Anyways, Doug, if you're listening, come on to the show. Jimmy Doyle, don't forget, you got to get him. Let's see. Smoke weed every day is what Emily D is suggesting. Grow and smoke weed every day. Tomorrow, I'm going to start growing weed. Are you guys?
Wasn't there a Beatles song that ended "Smoke pot, everybody smoke pot"?
I don't know it.
Yeah, smoke pot, everybody smoke pot. John Lennon, I think, was.
I think you're crazy, Ed.
I think it was at the end of "I Am a Walrus."
I am the walrus.
I know. I could be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty sure there was something that had a refrain. Smoke pot. No. You laugh, but if you look it up, you'll find it. Just saying.
Okay. Well, we'll look it up.
So CannTrust, one of the better performers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's going on with my...
Cannabis is legal in 756.
Something's going on with my... there it is. Okay, so let's go look at some more of these... look at, that's a lot of red on the Midas Letter Small Cap Index.
Yeah, so here we are...
Red, red, red.
On the eve of the
Let's look at what's going on in the venture.
legalization. Let's see.
Ooh, look at Organogram. Was over $8 yesterday and down to $7.43. This sell-off is intensifying as the day grows on.
Well, it's going to stop now. I'll tell you why.
Because the market's closed.
Thank you.
Yes.
Test was down 10%.
Yeah.
10%. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, that's my buddy. I'm not going to mention his name, but he said that's his favorite deal out there. He said that thing has got the earmarking,
Which
the sort
one?
of checklist. This test.
Really? Who is that?
I can't tell you.
So this deal, okay, so as I said, we're going to be resellers of this product. They're making this product that's going to be a competitor to the Draeger. And the Draeger has some issues, and we think maybe it doesn't work. And we think that's going to get turfed, curbside. Because the cops are going to say, hey man, this thing don't work. And then they're going to be looking for a new one. You know which one it's going to be? It's going to be the one that Fluorotech makes. You know why?
Why?
Because we're involved and we're resellers and we think it's a better product. And what we say goes.
I hope they let us wear police uniforms when we start pulling people over to test the quality of their marijuana.
That's a good point. So here's my question. If you get pulled over and you're smoking CBD intense weed and there's no THC in it, are they still going to bust you? Thinking that you're high, and it's like, you're going to be like, no sir, this is CBD only sir, there's no THC in this.
Excuse me sir, CBD only.
So I guess the machines are going to have to be very sensitive to the levels of THC and CBD.
I think it should be mandatory that every sentence should end in the word sir. Like for instance.
When you're talking to a cop?
No, everybody.
Everybody?
Sir.
What if it's a madam?
What if it's about a madam?
What if it's a lady? How about
Sirette?
man? Sirette. Why would you call a woman Sirette? That just makes no sense, Ed. We're going sideways here.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Can I have a cigarette, Sirette?
So when these guys get their CSA testing, this is when I predict that stock might be a bit of a... Actually, you know what I think? I think we should buy some here.
Well, you can't.
Because the market's closed?
Yeah.
What about in the aftermarket? What do you mean,
You know what? I tell you, this guy's pretty sharp, this guy that told me about this.
Yeah. You know what company we're going to take a look at right now? Because I want to make a big point of this, because all you guys out there in public company land who are investing in these companies, we just did a deal with this company here, and we are going to help them succeed in transforming themselves into one of the biggest players in the marijuana space globally. It's still calling it Macroeconomics Group in the quote media system, but the company's name is now Wayland Group, not Macroeconomics Group.
Wayland.
Wayland, and the symbol is WAL.
You know what? I can see Macroeconomics as a. You notice the move for companies to change their names into something that can't tie back to marijuana. Is that? Am I imagining this? Because Macroeconomics, that's a Canada marijuana company, Macroeconomics.
I thought it was. He said it was a marriage between marijuana and cannabis.
Okay, or Canada.
Yeah, well, Canada doesn't have two ends.
Kill two birds with one stone. So why Wayland?
Because Wayland was a mythic German figure who created potions and formulations.
Snake oil?
That were medicinal in nature.
Snake oil?
No, this is Germany. There are no snakes in Germany. Did you know that?
You know where there are no snakes?
Where?
Jamaica.
How do you know?
Because that's why I was in Jamaica. They told me there's no snakes in Jamaica.
What if you bring a snake to Jamaica?
Then there are snakes in Jamaica.
There'll be one snake. You have to bring two for there to be snakes.
What if there's people selling snake oil? There'd be snake oil salesmen.
They would be snake oil salesmen. Another company that's our client, again, I have to disclose when somebody's our client, is the Weekend Unlimited, trading symbol YOLO. Let's see how they did today.
YOLO.
YOLO. You know why YOLO? You only live once. So again, the quote media system is a little bit behind the times. Look at that, up 9.4% today to 29 cents.
Winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now this company is Video News Alert. Oh, that's hilarious. investment pitch guys are still doing that. I had no clue. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Please. Elucidate.
They merged
Not
the company,
hallucinate. Elucidate.
They merged the company with this shell, Open Source Health, which is why it's coming up as Open Source Health. If you punch in the symbol YOLO and it comes up as Open Source Health,
I bet you
it's actually called Weekend Unlimited, not Open Source Health. Open Source is the shell that they merged with.
There's a good name for a marijuana company, Open Source Health. Just saying. That's what.
Weekend Unlimited is not in the marijuana business exactly on the medical side. No, they're in the cannabis lifestyle business.
Explain.
Okay, so I am a cannabis enthusiast. I like to get high every day.
Right.
I like to hang out with other people who get high. And when we're high, we like to go to, live shows. We like to go to house parties with kick-ass famous DJs. We like to go to Jamaican grow-ops where they treat us to both cannabis and alcohol and ply us with scantily, never mind. So anyways, this is what these guys do. They've got grow-ops in BC, they've got grow-ops in Washington, they've got the biggest line of canna candies in California.
Canna candies?
Canna candies, so candies that get you high. And they also have this great line of performance beverages. So this is a company, and this is why I think that investors could do very well by it right now. I'm also a shareholder. Believe it or not, I got a boatload of shares in this thing, but I can't sell any till February.
No, but apparently a lot of people can't sell their shares because I've already heard 3 people complain that they'd like to take their money off the table and they can't.
Well, you know what? Chances are that with this crew, you're going to be at the end of the day, you're going to be glad you couldn't take your money off the table because these guys can promote a stock like nobody's business.
Really?
So at 29 cents, I'm just looking at this and going, oh my gosh, when these guys get up ahead.
You're thinking of maybe picking up a few more?
Well, because I can't trade it, I'm thinking of buying it and trading the efforts and the great work we do. Though I don't know. No, I don't think we can do that actually. But so it's the symbol is YOLO. The company's name is Weekend Unlimited. Let's see.
What about Juju? I guess I saw a
Juju
text
is not a
that,
client, so we're going to stick with our client roster right this second.
Okay.
Just because we have this obligation.
All right.
And another one of our fantastic clients. Now, people, I want you to understand something here. We don't take all comers. In fact, we bring on clients by invitation only after we've had a long association with them and we are confident in their ability to execute because we don't want them to make us look bad and we don't want them to lose money for you, the investor. Canopy Rivers had a bit of a sell-off after its debut. Yesterday was a green day, but yesterday was green for everybody. But one of the companies in which it's a major shareholder was up like 20% yesterday, TerrAscend, remember?
And I've looked at TerrAscend a few times, and I have a difficult time understanding with the number of shares outstanding, TerrAscend, why it doesn't really trade a lot, like what I would say is...
Well, you want to pull up a symbol on TerrAscend?
TER.
TER on the CNX?
Yeah. Now, maybe a lot of the stock's tied up.
Well, that's probably a good call.
But I mean, like who owns it? And so today, so it's down.
Well, it sold off 5% today.
And what's the volume? 250,000 shares.
The volume today is 259,000 shares.
And how many shares are there outstanding?
Oh boy, you're asking all the tough questions. 95.7 million.
That doesn't seem like a lot of stock for a company that's got 100 million shares outstanding. Am I?
You mean the trading volume?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's probably still tied up since the last time they did...
major financing?
Probably.
Well, anyway, I mean, it's obviously a very successful company. Congrats to them.
Yeah.
Doing really well, off a little today, but
yeah,
been on a tear. A
bit of a tear. Been on an absolute tear.
How about a TerrAscend?
Yeah. No, I know. Did you buy it? Did you play it? Did you play it? Look at, there's you watching me, watching you, watching me. There we are. 197 people watching right now.
Good.
See if we have any smart questions from our audience. I dream of a day where there is the equivalent of a wine tour, only for weed. Says Devi1 Ray. Devi1 Ray, I have great news for you. Weekend Unlimited will take you on a cannabis cruise tour in Jamaica, of all places, where you will be able to consume the Jamaican raw, man. And the...
You were recently in Jamaica.
I was on a tour.
Jamaica legal? Is Jamaica legal? Is marijuana legal in Jamaica?
Is marijuana legal in Jamaica? Marijuana is in the process of being legalized for recreational and medical purposes, but it's not.
So you can't get marijuana in Jamaica if you want.
No, everybody smokes weed in Jamaica.
But it's not legal.
Well, I don't know. It is when I'm there.
Okay.
Does that make any sense to you whatsoever, Ed?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well,
James Albert says, I just don't think ACB needs TGOD.
I don't know what that means.
ACB is Aurora. Aurora announced that they're not going to proceed with their right to purchase an additional tranche of TGOD shares. People are reading into that, some negativity. Do you get the feeling James has lost a bit of faith in Juju, says Keystone Record? Actually, Keystone Record, if you look at the share price of Juju today, it's one of the better performers. It's up. And Steve Gormley, the CEO, is going to be here tomorrow to give us an update on what they're doing.
And I think you're a shareholder of that company.
I'm a shareholder of that company.
Yeah.
And the performance has been a little bit disappointing of late.
Yeah. Well, lately, the last couple of days, it's been pretty good.
The last couple of days it's been good, but before that, my average price is like. Actually, I'm not supposed to disclose my average price, am I? No? Okay.
You know what?
Let's just say that
sometimes you say too much.
Really?
Well,
You're
not
saying
really.
I talk too much, Ed?
No.
Jesus, the knife.
No, you. I think you don't need to disclose. Well,
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. Tilray's are going by the Tilroy.
Yeah.
$159.
$159. Debbie One Ray says the CEO is solid. He's talking about Steve Gormley at Juju. Yeah, so no, I haven't lost faith in Juju. I have. I've been patiently waiting for them to execute on their plan, and hopefully, maybe one day take the stock higher. That's the hope. That's the plan. Let's see how that stock did today. 25.5 cents it closed at, up half a penny, which is 2% for this company on 5.6 million shares traded. Now that's on a day like this to close up is a bit of a feat. A feat. F-E-A-T.
A feat.
The
There's a
agony
word too. There's E-F-F-E-T-E, isn't there?
A feat meaning feminine. All right then.
Okay.
Moving right along. Look at the beer has come down. When we first talked to those guys, that was 31.5 cents. It was 19 cents when we had those guys on first, up to 31. Bit of a sell-off there. Canopy Growth still holding at $68. You think there's, and so you think
I think it's going to stay there the whole night. I really don't see much action until tomorrow morning at 9:30.
Now you know it trades in New York as well.
Damn.
Which means there's an aftermarket.
Damn.
Let's see how it did in New York. That would be interesting. CGC. So where'd it go? So it's down 5% here. No, $5 here, which is what US? $3?
No, about 360, I think.
Oh boy, look at this. We're not getting the same. CGC USA. And
survey says
5301, down $3.88.
Okay, well I said 360.
360, huh?
Okay, so a lot of red here.
Yes.
You know what? I think we're going to have to go out and drown our sorrows.
You think we're going to look at the stock market is closed clock has changed to the cannabis is legal in.
Right.
7 hours and 42 minutes clock.
And that clock's going to change to.
You know what? I've got to go home and roll up a couple of fatties. I just realized I didn't have any with me.
I think you better.
I think I better.
You better. How are you going to get there?
How am I going to get home?
Bicycle?
Stretch limo.
Wow.
I know. Traveling in style. Tonight's the night. Yeah, Canopy Growth US. Bit of an arbitrage opportunity there if you're going to play US dollar games. Let's see what the Cannabis Small Cap Index did. Now, these stocks are all the ones, I'm getting the sense that this is totally out of whack because this is 1.2 billion, so this should be in the large cap. Huge is now 900 million, it should be in the large cap. Namaste, 671 million, should be in the large cap. Supreme Pharma's company, 575 million, it should be a large cap. Liberty Health, 501 million, just squeaking into the large cap category. So you notice On the September 30th, when we normally make an adjustment to our indexes to keep them accurate,
Did we make the adjustment?
we didn't. There's a
And
lot
whose
more
fault
companies.
is that?
Mine.
Come on.
I'm
You
serious.
take the blame for everything.
Well, it's kind of my, it's my
Well-
fault, you know? I have nobody else to blame, though I was hopeful that the boys at Quote Media out there on the West Coast would make that adjustment for me, but they haven't.
All right.
So I guess I'm gonna have to do it all myself.
Jason Wagner.
Jason
Wagner.
JWC, yeah. So Nathan Woodworth, the CEO of JWC, is going to be here tomorrow. He's
That
gonna
was
be
just
on
at
the
$1.30, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, there's another one where I think you could trade it in a range, and you would always make money. Chiron Life Sciences, $1.68. There's another one that bucked the trend today, up a penny. Chiron Life is knocking it out of the park down there in Columbia. They're a former client. They're not currently a client, but they're a former client.
When you say, what does that mean? Former, not now, and
Well, they were a client for 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, the agreement expired, though we haven't renewed it, but that's just really an oversight because they've indicated interest in continuing the program.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So Liberty Health Sciences, $1.48, up 2 cents. MedMen up 85 cents, $8.99. What do you think?
These looks like they're the buckers.
The buckers? The buckers of the trenders? They are.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Now, if the trend is up and they're up, then they're no longer the buckers.
That's right. Then they or are they?
They're the buckies.
They got bucked off.
They got bucked off.
Get the buck out of here. Whoa, that's bordering on rudeness. Anyways.
Yeah. Did you ever see that that commercial about the people that started to ship their pants? They'd say, "Can I ship my pants?"
Ship their pants.
Ship their pants.
Where would they ship their pants to?
Well, let's say there's a trend now that when you travel, instead of taking your luggage and worrying about losing it on the airline, you ship your
pants.
You ship your clothing.
Boy, that guy really shipped his
And
pants.
so they say, "Did I ship my pants?" And they said, then the grandmother and grandfather of the couple that shipped their pants, they walked into the room and the grandmother would say, "Can I ship my pants?" And it went on and on and on. And so many people got pissed off because they thought it sounded like shit their pants.
Which nobody wants to do.
Nobody wants to hear.
Oh,
that people
or think
complain so vociferously that they actually
vociferously.
pulled the ad.
Really?
Yeah, but it was hilarious because little
Was
kids
that
come
a
on and
FedEx
say,
commercial?
"I always ship my pants." If you could find that thing and watch it, you'd howl.
Yeah.
Howl.
Oh!
That's what I want to
Howl
hear.
with laughter.
That's what I want to hear.
There
I
you
want to
have
hear
it.
a guy
You're going to hear a
howl.
lot of that tonight, Ed. You know why?
I know.
Because this town's going off tonight. Tonight
This
is the
town's
night.
going off.
Do you know
Going
why?
off booze and onto the joints.
Do you know why? Do you know why October 17th was selected as the day for it to go legal?
I'm going to guess.
Can I guess?
It's exactly 2 weeks before Halloween.
Incorrect. The rumor is, without any official acknowledgement, that Justin Trudeau selected October 17th in celebration of the lead singer from the Tragically Hip, who passed away 1 year ago on October 17th.
I buy that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was pretty choked up, old Justin.
The whole country was. I mean, that was one of our national treasures. Now, Tragically Hip is still involved with this company called Hip.
How's Hip doing?
How's Hip doing? Hip was down today a bit.
A bit of a haphazard play.
Hap? What?
Hap.
Let's
Change the name from Hip to Hap.
I want to see how Hip's doing. So Hip has Up Cannabis. I like these monosyllabic brand names. Hip, Hap, Up. Anyways, so yeah, 74 cents.
Okay, so
What do you think of that chart?
You know what I think?
What do you think, Ed?
I think, boy, a lot of people that own it wish that they would see $3 again, but
yeah, you know, it's
I don't
interesting.
How many shares in that little baby? I bet you there's a
one has
lot.
556 million shares out.
Ooh, where do you see that?
Down here, shares out.
Oh, yeah.
Down here.
Wow.
Boy, I wish that mouse would correlate to the mouse on the screen, but it doesn't. So weird. Anyways, so this is a company that's had something going, and it seems to have lost the attention of the marketplace again. Now, Suzanne was telling me that Jay Wilgar is going to be here tomorrow. Suzanne, is that correct? Jay Wilgar is going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
From HIP?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You didn't see my little tweet? Are we smoking up?
Smoking up. Get it.
It's their cannabis brand.
Boy, that's Suzanne. She's not just another pretty face. None of those cameras can seem to turn over and look at you, can they?
Okay.
We're asking a little bit too much of the control room, are we?
Well, let's see. What time is it?
It's 4:24. Ed, 6 more minutes of the show, and that's it. Then you're gone. You're free. You're out of here. You get to start partying. The countdown.
Countdown
7 more
to,
hours
you
and
know.
35 minutes till tonight.
Maybe we should have a countdown in for our show when it ends.
The show ends in?
5 minutes and 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
I don't think so. That's not really what we're trying to do. Is to make
You don't
people
think our show
count
ends
the
in 4
minutes
minutes
until
and
the
30
show
seconds?
ends? I can't wait till this show ends because it's just driving me insane. The humor is off.
The closer it ends, the closer it begins.
What other company do you want to have a look at here? Let's go see what the audience wants us to look at. Okay, you guys on...
I want to take a look at...
okay, Aleafia. We're getting a lot of requests to talk about Aleafia. Mitchell at Albe says,
Hey.
see, HIP has Trudeau on their side. Aha, that's hilarious. I know.
Can
so weird.
Can we put up a chart of It's off the subject a bit because it's Amazon, but I noted something on Amazon the other day because it dropped precipitously from over 2,000 down to I think under 1,700. But there was a very important technical indicator that if you ever saw it again, you'd go long.
Really?
And we could show the viewers
In Amazon?
in Amazon.
Amazon stock.
Amazon stock.
We're talking large caps now.
We need a 1 month chart.
A 1 month start. Oh.
And if I would have saw it, I would have probably bought the stock.
I can't bring it up, Ed.
Okay.
Wait. No, maybe I can if I have to go this way. And that's, oh, there it is. Quote Media Pro Desktop. I can do it this way. Quote Stream Desktop Pro. Here it comes, Ed. You're in luck.
Okay, I want to see it. This is just a little trick here. Showing some tricks here. Amazon is a monster.
Yeah,
as
sure
we know.
is. You know that I once had a company that competed with Amazon.
How'd they do?
Well, we achieved a $200 million market cap before March 2000 came along, and the collapse of the dot-com market entirely took our company down with it.
Really?
Yes. But it was the closest I'd ever come to becoming a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
We had the same business model as Amazon, but instead of warehousing the merchandise that we were shipping, we were providing the online experience for the customers and having the producers of books, music, and video, which is all there was that you could ship back then, having them fulfill it themselves.
Right.
It was a great idea, but unfortunately, the timing was off.
Sure.
Here's Amazon. Oh, Amazon.
Here we go. I just want to. Okay, we have to put up the chart.
Oh, you want a chart?
And I want to put up a chart and a 1 month chart. I think maybe a 3 month chart.
There's a 3 month chart right there.
3 month chart. Okay, so look. So here's a stock, and look, this is a darling. This is, I think, when it got here, briefly it was over $1 trillion. It sort of moved sideways, and then we had the big sell-off. But we had a candle below the band, and we had a precipitous fall, and then we had a big tail. We had a sort of a doji. But this is the kind of thing you look for to go the other way. And if you look, sure, what's it at now? It's $100 higher. You can make a lot of money if you know what options to trade, and it's as liquid as anything. But that doesn't happen very often in a very prominent company that's like almost $1 trillion company. And if you look also, I think back in here, the RSI got to close to 20. And monster volume, so all the bells and whistles are there. And if you'd been watching and you'd say, wow, I see this, bang, you go along and you print yourself some money.
Really? So RSI below 20.
Well, around 20, and you got the total, the whole day's trading was below the band.
Right.
And it rallied off the bottom fairly significantly.
Right.
And here we are 3 days later, 4 days later. I'm just saying, there's some
Just saying.
ways to make money out there.
All right, well, Ed,
Okay.
I want to thank you for joining me today, Ed. And
Sounds like you're saying goodbye forever.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But, we're going out on the town tonight. And
I don't know if I'll be able to have the stamina that I
Really?
suspect some of the younger people in the crowd will.
They might be a little bit more, yeah, who knows. Anyways, so
Okay.
we are going to call it a day. Tomorrow we're broadcasting all day long from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We've got a whole range of guests coming in from the cannabis universe. We have snippets and tidbits and vignettes and pre-records and all kinds of things. We've got
Timbits too. We'll have some coffee and Timbits.
We'll have coffee and Timbits. Ed is bringing Timbits, he says, and we're going to have the Follow the Money guys are going to be here tomorrow. And
I like those guys. I like those guys.
Yeah, I love those guys. So tune in tomorrow. Don't forget to like us. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter on our website, because that's where we're going to start to be publishing some of the best ideas that come across this desk.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to make a lot of money. Don't you think? We've made a lot of money this year. You're going to make a lot of money too. Now, that's our show. And thank you all for joining us. Come back next week. Come back tomorrow, and we'll be here all day.
Come back when you grow up, girl.